Hey guys, Sarmar with Sara TV here, and today I'm going to bring you a new tablet review here. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I do apologize for that. Everything's just been really hectic with the production of my game Henshin Engine, but I'm going to go ahead and try to do a little bit more, or a few more of these videos, hopefully soon. This one is going to be a tablet review from an artist perspective of the Vaio Z Canvas. So let's get right to it then. So the pen that comes with this thing is really nice. It feels really good. I talked about this a bit in the unboxing for it. A cool feature about that is this button here. If you press it, you can disable the touch screen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right. The stand feels pretty good. So as you can see, I can touch the screen there, and you're not going to see any of my fingerprints. Even though the rejection technology, when you place the pen onto the screen, or palm rejection is what it's called. I couldn't think about it. But palm rejection on this one is pretty good. But having the button there to disable touch is really nice, and it is good for artists. Let's see here. So these brush strokes here, they're not exactly, so far, pressure sensitivity isn't the best right out of the box, but I think that also depends on how you press and if you're used to these types of screens or not. This screen is kind of reflective. It's like a hard glass. I'm just going to go into, it's got its own control panel here. It's the Vaio control panel, and it's just got various settings. Oh, excuse me. Here I'm just going to go into the pen settings and adjust the what do you call it here? The pressure sensitivity here. Right now I have it on normal. I'm going to go ahead and test it. Maybe make it so right here it's getting my light strokes and my heavy strokes, and you just gotta play with it a bit here. I find, I don't know if it's because these Cintiq pens, if they work differently than the Wacom pens, I find that the pressure sensitivity seems to be better on screens that use the Wacom technology versus the Cintiq technology, but that's just from experience. This is probably the sixth or seventh digitizer device I've played around with. I think I just made that worse here. It's got these cool buttons on it. If you hold that first button there, you can use it to erase. You can't really flip the pen upside down like you can with like Wacom devices. In ArtRage, you can program these. In ArtRage, this works as a eraser when you press that button, but you can adjust it. And I use ArtRage to draw most of my stuff. That might vary from program to program, depending on what you're using. I'm just going to go over here and just even out the pressure sensitivity here, just to, not so much to my liking, but just as a general default setting. And that seems to work a lot better. My light strokes are lighter, and as I apply pressure, it seems to be a bit more gradual than it did just a second ago. So that's pretty nice. So far, not bad. One good thing about this tablet is it's got a 4th generation i7, which was, I don't know what generation that was, Haswell, I suppose. And it's a quad core Haswell, so this thing's a little powerhouse. Grounded immunities. and it works really well. I'll demonstrate a little bit more um, as we progress here and do some video encoding and the like. But one thing I don't like about the screen is it's glass. It's glassy finish. I think if you put maybe a screen protector, it could help. Maybe if I'm not sure if Sony offers different kinds of nibs for the pen, that might also help. But I just feel that it's too stiff. It's too hard. When you hit the screen, it feels clacky, and you can't really hear it in the video. But it has this. It's very smooth, and I like it. I like there to be a little grip to it when I'm drawing it. It just makes it more natural for me, as I'm used to drawing on pen and paper, as most of us might be. So having that give there is good. But I'm just gonna go ahead and draw a little picture here of my character Yuki from Henshin Engine, and at this point I'm just gonna go ahead and time-lapse this video so that you guys can see the end result in a little bit here. Okay, so there we have it. Here's a illustration of Yuki Shirokawa, or FX Unit Yuki, from my game Henshin Engine. I'll go ahead and show you the demo disc. She's right on the cover here. She is the pixel character on the left. If you're curious about Henshin Engine, go ahead and check out henshinengine.com for all that information. We recently had a Kickstarter of this little girl here, and it was quite successful. And we're making a game, and it's in progress, and blah blah blah. Who cares? It's a game, and we're making it. So some cool stuff there. Honestly, she came out really derp looking, and I don't know if it's just that I'm not used to drawing on this tablet, but I feel like I didn't have as much control. It could be that I'm using ArtRage 4. Could be a thing with ArtRage and this computer. I don't know. It didn't feel natural to me. Prior to this, I've been drawing on a Surface Pro 2, and I feel that drawing on that comes out a lot more natural for me. And I don't know if it's because the bigger screen or what have you, because there's a lot more screen real estate than I'm used to. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence as far as using this as an actual drawing tool. There are tons of videos where people are drawing on it, and they're doing an amazing job. I find that I draw way better on this Surface Pro 2, which is got like an i5, and it's like an Ivy Bridge i5 with 4 gigs of RAM. This has got 8 gigs of RAM. But let me just go ahead and show you a drawing here that I did with this tablet earlier. It could also be that I was trying to draw something quickly under pressure for the video. And so here's a little sketch of Yuki again. This one I took a little more time, but the thing with it is that I feel like it took me longer to draw this sketch of Yuki on this tablet versus what it would have taken me to draw it on the Surface Pro 2 that I'm normally drawing on. And like I said, I don't know if I'm just not used to all the screen real estate. We'll have to put that to the test when I compare this Vaio Z Canvas with the Microsoft Surface Pro 4, which I plan to do soon, which is also an i7. That one's got a lot more RAM though. That one's got 16 gigs of RAM. This one's got 8 gigs of RAM. So we might see some difference there. But I think the Surface Pro 4 has a dual core i7 versus this one's quad core, 4th generation quad core i7 versus a 6th generation dual core i7 that you'll find on the Microsoft Surface Pro 4. But I don't know, I somehow feel like the Microsoft Surface Pro will probably feel more natural to me, which is for me it's a shame. I really like this one. This tablet is so sleek. When I unboxed it, it was so beautiful, but I don't know, something about it just, it doesn't feel right. But I mean, we'll talk about that when I go ahead and review it. Speaking of this computer, and earlier I was stating how it was kind of a powerhouse. I'm this very same video I'm encoding with this software. Well, we'll encode it in the very near future with Wondershare Filmora, which is what I use to cut and edit my videos. It makes things really easy. So here's my project. I'm gonna go ahead and use this to export, and I'm just gonna do a time capture just to show how long it's going to take this computer to export this video. And I believe I did it at the best quality, 1080p, I believe 1920 by 1080 at the best settings. So we're just going to go ahead and see at this point how long it'll actually take to do this. I'm also not going to plug in the computer. As you can see, it's got about half battery here, and we're just going to go ahead and see how much of the battery gets drained by the time we're done encoding this video. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start encoding our video in 1920 by 1080, 60 frames per second, MP4. It's getting ready to start processing here. I'm going to go ahead and just start recording to see how long it takes us to encode this video. Actually, I'll go ahead and time lapse the rest of this video as well, so that you can take a look and see how long it takes here. We'll just go ahead and time it, and here we go. Okay, so here we are, we're back, and it looks like it took just shy of 28 minutes to encode a 15-minute video at 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second. It ended up being an MP4 file. I don't know if that's good. It seemed kind of long for a video of that size, but I also don't really... Usually when I'm encoding video, I start it and I just walk away and I don't even think about it. I think I'm thinking about it because I'm waiting for it, because I'm making this video, so it seems really long for me. But here we are, here's the video. And like I said, it took about 28 minutes altogether to make this video. I had already done it before, but if you look at the battery, it pretty much drained the battery, and it's at 16%, and it was about halfway. So encoding does take a toll on the battery life for sure. But here's the video. It came out good. It's nice and clear. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up on the YouTubes for all to watch. And actually, this video is already up on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and export this project and all its files, and then run this same test on the Microsoft Surface. When I really liked that it's got a separate keyboard. The separate keyboard is pretty awesome, because if you're a Photoshop user and you use those shortcut keys, it's going to be really nice to have those shortcut keys to use. But other than that, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it as far as how it works for actual drawing. But I also believe that it's a style. You get used to it. I do like how sleek this machine is. It's super sleek. It looks great. It, compared to the Microsoft Surface Pro 4, that's in the similar category. I mean, the Vaio makes it look like a cheap generic product, as where this would be your really nice nice top of the line machine here. But there you have it, and that is my review of the Vaio Z Canvas from an artist's perspective. I think for its price point, it's not bad. Right now, its price point for this specific machine, which is a Intel i7 quad core, 8 gigabytes of RAM, comes with a keyboard, comes with a pen. You can get it for around, I think right now it's around the $1,200 range, which is pretty good for a machine of this type. I think the Surface Pro 4s are a bit more expensive than these, but like I said, it's also got twice as much RAM than the Vaio Z Canvas does. So we'll have to wait and see when I do my review on the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 versus this one. If it's really worth the extra amount of money that one costs, if it feels better as an artist tool, etc. But for now, thank you for watching, and take it easy.